All right, what's happening, fam? As you see by the title, when doing it for the culture goes wrong. What I'm talking about today, it doesn't necessarily stem from the incident in Dallas. But when a brother said doing it for the culture, and I've been hearing people say that for a few months now. Do it for the culture, do it for the culture. And what's up, Chef? And nobody wants to, or nobody's thinking of addressing the fact that what culture we talking about? Because the culture that they keep saying to do it for is not necessarily black culture. And when it's black culture, you got black people who got an issue with it. So when people say do it for the culture, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? What you really talking about? Because you got to start off where it starts off first, right? Hip hop culture. You know, do it for the culture. Hip hop culture. Here's the thing. So what now? What's popping? Hip hop culture is not necessarily black culture at this particular point. I'm gonna tell you what I mean. When people think of hip hop culture, for some odd reason, criminal, drug dealing, gang banging, and illegal activity is part of hip hop culture, which is by proxy part of black culture. No, it's not. No, it's not. You know, criminal culture is criminal culture. That ain't black culture. That's criminal culture. But when people doing it for the culture, cocaine is a culture now. Murder is a culture now. You know what I'm saying? That's what we saying right now. Because you saw some people rap, that's part of the culture. The people that you hear saying it's part of the culture in hip hop, they can only write raps. They can't. They don't make beats or do beatbox. They don't break dance. They don't do graffiti. You know, no, not necessarily Black Pill. I'm getting to something a little bit further than that. But I appreciate you, fam. So that's not part of the culture. And then when you flip to the women, it's now twerking is a part of the culture. Hey, Naima, twerk is a part of the culture. That's stripper culture. That is not stripper culture and black culture is not synonymous. See, this is where, they say sex, drugs, and rock and roll. They're different things. Sex is a different industry, drugs is a different industry, and music is a different industry. It's not the same culture. There are three cultures that intertwine. They're not all the same. What's up, Mike? But we want to play this game that we doing it for the culture. Well, this is where doing it for the culture when it goes wrong. Because you don't know which culture you're doing it for. And I got to preface some of these things I'm about to say because this spills over into our politics. This spills over into our families. Our communities or lack thereof community. No, we're not talking about Nate. So this is when doing it for the culture goes wrong. And then people don't want to talk about that part. So I'm listening to, and I'm getting to that too, Brother Truth. The reason I use that is because the doing it for the culture mantra and black people mantra has gone so left with the culture that you got black kids who are raised in the suburbs who are basically minstrel shows when they say they being black. And they got that from their black parents. If those black parents may have grew up in the suburbs or grew up in the hood. What's up, Ernest? So now, this is when it goes wrong. When you got black kids thinking, oh, this is the culture. Doing it for the culture is acting mad ignorant. That's not, no, no. Because even with hip hop culture, look at how people are emulate. Look at how people in hip hop are emulating what they think hip hop is. You think it's not a coincidence. What's up, social visual jive? You got people. I know what I'm finna do. I'm gonna put a a bandana on it, tied up like Tupac did back in the day, and I'm gonna get like a leather vest, and I'm gonna get some tattoos, and I'm gonna stand like this. That's the culture. I'm gonna get a bunch of tattoos, and I'm gonna look like I could kill somebody. I'm doing it for the culture. If you don't get your, you know, this is what's the problem. Because we want to play around and say what is and what's not. You know, hip hop is one thing. Mob and gang life, that's two different things. That's not. That don't even. Those things don't even go together. You know. Shout out to the dentist that wanted to be a rapper. I ain't got a problem with people wanting to rap. I got a problem with people thinking rap is just the entirety of black culture. To the point that people are acting like what they think you got black people acting like what they think black people are. And it's like, this is stupid. This is where it goes wrong. Because now what you doing is you get around your own people, you diddy bopping like white people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, son? Yeah, son. And then you get around, hi, how you doing? No, I just talk like that and act like that around those people. I don't do that around you. I can act more sensible and civilized, which is ironic because you can't act sensible and civilized with your own folks. That's what you're saying? This is where it goes wrong. Lowcast, what's up? Tony, what's happening? So now I think about it because I was listening to I think the Breakfast Club, and they had my song and Tamika Mallory. They got a podcast coming out, and then they're talking about politics, and it's the culture. This is a problem because even when people say we're doing it for the culture and they infuse politics with it, the stupidity of it is this. Prison reform and police reform come up, but not economic reform. This is why it's a problem, because now it goes wrong. It goes wrong. Yeah, take these mouth. Yeah, exactly. It goes wrong because now we at a space where when black people want something politically, we're thinking about prison, prison culture. So many people shouldn't be going to jail, and we need to get people out of jail. What? You want to end this problem? Let me say this to you emphatically and easily. Appreciate it. Trent, what's happening? One light, what's going on? Talk to black people who are not living in poverty. Do they commit crime like that? So if you want to change the situation, change the poverty. You won't have this issue. But see, we're doing it for the culture, and part of the culture is clinging to poverty. So now you got people clinging to poverty, and then all of the vices that come with that, saying we should vote to help the people who fall prey to what happens when you live in poverty. Instead of just saying, let's just get more money in people, more money to people, and we won't have this. But see, this is when doing it for the culture goes wrong. You don't hear, crime is far more extensive in other groups than ours. This is the problem when doing it for the culture goes wrong. Who you buying from? White folks, Hispanics, Asians. When I say white folks, I mean regular old Anglo-Saxon, Italian, Russian, Irish, Jewish, whatever, all kinds of white folks. They got way bigger criminal enterprises in and out of America than we do. They have way more hands in being criminals than we do. But we won't play this game. V-Dub, thanks, fam. But we're going to do it for the culture. Why don't we just let that part of the culture be what it is? And what I mean by that is, if you want the criminal-minded culture, it could be put off to the side like it is in other groups. White folks put their criminals off to the side. That ain't white culture. The same with the Italians. I know people put the mob on Italians, but you don't think mafia, and Italian cuisine at the same time. You can compartmentalize those two things because, oh, that's their food culture, or, opera, or whatever, or Roman Colosseum. You don't, yeah, Roman Colosseums and John Gotti. No, you don't do that. Asians. You don't think the Yakuza and the triads at the same time you thinking about Kung Fu. You know what I'm saying? But with us, it all goes together. No, it don't. This is where it goes wrong. Not having black. Exactly. This is why you're doing it for the culture. This is where we at with it. This is where it goes wrong. And see, I'm taking this a little further than that because when people say we're doing it for the culture, this is where I gotta pause a minute. Every time you're doing it for the culture, how come it has to be associated with something detrimental or dysfunctional? That's not doing it for the culture. But more so, how come you flip on a dime when your kids start doing the same things you're doing that you were doing for the culture? Get what I'm saying? See, it's funny how you can go out in public and be mad, you want to blast your music because that's doing it for the culture. But then you see some teenagers blasting their music. Now, they causing a scene. They causing a problem. What? So when you do it for the culture, it makes sense. But when somebody younger than you, who's following suit and what you've been doing, is doing it for the culture, then it's a thing. Yeah, I did hear about that, Tony. This is part of the issue right here. That's part of the issue, Tony. What's up, What's up, Iman? So, same thing with the women twerking. It's part of the culture. We doing it for the culture. It's the culture. We in the culture and doing the culture. Oh, but when your daughter twerking all on the internet, I didn't raise you like that. Where did you get this from? Mama, I'm doing it for the culture. See, everybody, even when people try to associate marijuana, with hip hop culture and drugs, and this is what I do. I'm doing it for the culture. But see, you don't want your children smoking weed, telling you they doing it for the culture. You feel me? You don't want your son and your daughter, your grandson and granddaughter out there. I'm doing it for the culture. You know what I'm saying? It's just weed. I'm doing it for the culture. What's up, Tony? This is when it goes wrong. See, being financially literate ain't doing it for the culture. Learning how to get out of debt isn't for the culture. And though we try to act like graduating college, that ain't part of the culture. What's up, man, Cole? Because that's part of the thing that I was listening to about when they were talking on the Breakfast Club. They started going in on Ice Cube about the plan for Black America, and they started going in on 50 Cent. And I'm thinking to myself, and Lil Wayne for supporting Trump. This is when I know doing it for the culture goes wrong. You are right here in the moment of history, and you can't even get the history right because you want to frame it as in you doing something for the culture to vote for Joe Biden. This is where I'm about to get ignorant with some people. What's up, Samuel? Fact, what's happening? See, let me tell you what this is. Ice Cube got with some black intellectuals about what could we do financially and in the community. And just like Tamika Mallory was talking about, when I saw who he worked with, there were no women. Why didn't you work with Alicia Garza? He was talking about ADOS. Garza ain't an ADOS last name for a black person. Sorry. She may have got married. I don't know, but Garza is not necessarily not an ADOS name in America for a black person. There can be exceptions to the rules because I know people with those type of last names that are fully black and their parents is black like that, but it's not the norm. It's an anomaly. But on top of that, and 50 Cent was supporting Trump. No, 50 Cent saw the tax plan and started trolling like, if I gotta pay this high tax, shoot, I vote for Trump. All of a sudden, people want, that's a rich problem. That ain't a race problem. You support Lil Wayne. Yeah, okay. Lil Wayne endorse Trump. Okay. Here's the problem. Now bear with me when I say this. When Ice Cube was saying F the police, he was doing it for the culture. Right? 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 When Ice Cube was pseudo promoting gang banging, he was doing it for the culture. That's cool. That's cool. That's what that is, right? When 50 Cent was Get Rich or Die Trying and people was literally dying trying, he was doing it for the culture. That's acceptable. That's acceptable. Right? That's doing it for the culture. But and Lil Wayne, when he was dropping all those Carter albums, he was doing it for the culture, right? Game Changer was popping. That was the culture, right? Oh, but now these guys say something that is not detrimental to the black community. Oh, that's not doing it for the culture. That's a sellout. And here's the problem with that. What's up, CJ? You go wrong when you don't consider the fact that you ain't even doing it for the culture. See, people right now are pimping doing it for the culture for their own interests. Appreciate that, Antoine. What's happening with it? People are pimping that. We're going to do it for the culture. No, you're not. No, you're not. You got ex-criminals talking about do it for the culture so they can try to get some, liberal Democratic money. So they could be the Candace Owens of the liberal side. You got women doing it for the culture, for intersectionality and feminism and women empowerment. Ain't got nothing to do with the black community. But we're not supposed to say that's not doing it for the culture. Like this is where we at. This is where doing it for the culture, when it goes wrong. Because you want to call people race hustlers and pimps in it, but at the same time, pimping and hustling is part of the culture. Like, are you kidding me right now? I ain't even bringing up them, fam. Like, I ain't even bringing up that conversation yet, because that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Tamika Mallory, not T and Tamara Mowry. But what's happening? But this is where doing it for the culture goes when it goes wrong. See, like using the situation in Dallas. See, this is what I mean by when doing it for the culture goes wrong. How did he wind up on TMZ? If you notice, now I might be tripping, but you want to defend them twerking in a restaurant that's on TMZ. So the next day, like you said earlier, Today, they got the video of the little girls beating up the woman, jumping the grown woman and her husband for telling them not to be twerking on the side of a building in front of a police car. So, is that going to wind up on TMZ? I wonder, is that part going to wind up on TMZ? Are you going to have people on TMZ like, oh my God, these people need to apologize to these little girls for telling them not to shake their behinds in public like that? Because they was doing it for the culture. They should have beat up that woman and jumped her and her husband because they was doing it for the culture. See, these things happen back to back. And the reason why I bring up TMZ is TMZ has a history of trying to throw black men under the bus. So I'm not surprised that that the black man and the business owner wind up on TMZ. But people get kicked out of restaurants all the time, B. They don't wind up on TMZ if they're not black like that. I don't even know. I'm not even sure if TMZ put up the numerous times they had black women getting beat up in nail salons and getting beat up and thrown out of gas stations by Asians and Arabs. That was happening. That's been happening the last few years, right? Is that on? I'm not even sure because I don't watch TMZ. But I would doubt that they put that on TMZ and they got the business owners who beat up the customers and threw them out to go, I have to apologize to those people. I doubt that ever happened. But that's the problem. That's the problem. But let's do it for the culture. Let's take the culture everywhere. Turn, what's happening? See, we want to do it for the culture until our kids go out in public and start doing it for the culture, and we got to pay for it. See, when your kids go out there doing it for the culture, it's embarrassing you. When your adult kids go out there and do it for the culture, you say, hey, you grown, you got to pay for that on your own. I ain't got nothing to do with that. So, what part of the culture doesn't embarrass you? Because, see, this is the part about culture that I forgot to say earlier. Culture is family friendly. Everything that's family friendly is considered culture. Art, food, clothing, or a certain type of dress style, that's family friendly. Music is part of art. That's a person's culture. This is why hip hop is part of music. It's culture. In the beginning, the premise is you don't have to make a hip hop record that's raunchy. You don't have to, but see, people like the salacious, raunchy material more than they like anything else. So now you assume that makes everything okay. Because right now I'm listening to Luther Vandross. That ain't somehow this music ain't black culture no more. Frankie Beverly and Maze ain't black culture no more. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson, Prince, not black culture no more. R. Kelly. He said R. Kelly, not black culture no more. Bill Cosby, Bill Cosby, not black culture no more. How's that? This is what I mean by when doing for the culture goes wrong, because when you teaching these guys, these men and women, what is and what ain't culture, you're not teaching etiquette. See, every culture has an etiquette also. That goes with their clothing, dress style. That has a certain etiquette to it that goes behind it. You dress like this on certain occasions. You act like this in that environment. Culture ain't going everywhere and just act however you want. That's not culture. But people want to play that game. So let's suss it all the way out. Let's get all the way to the bottom of the doing it for the culture idea. So, exactly, So, if you eating soul food, you're doing it for the culture, right? But if that soul food gets you sick and you start working out, then you're not doing it for the culture. If you stop eating soul food because it's making you sick, or if you decide to make it healthier, I'm here now. What's happening, fam? You know, when you start making healthier food dishes and choices, even using the same institution of soul food recipe. What's up, O'Shea Line? What's happening? Then you're not doing it for the culture no more. How dare you? I can't believe you. You just made, you know what I'm saying? Wow, you decided to make fried food in the air fryer because it's healthier. That's not doing it for the culture. You decided to make macaroni and cheese with dairy, like different types of cheeses or butters that are a little bit more healthy. Oh my God, it's not doing it for the culture. No, I'm doing it for the culture, but I got type 2 diabetes. Let's do it for the culture. Now, I'm dressed in lounge wear. I'm lounging right now. But if I start dressing up real fly on y'all, you know, suits, ties, cardigans, you know what I mean? Polos, fedoras, looking quite sophisticated on you. That's not, that ain't doing it for the culture. But then we turn right around and say, back in the day, black people used to wear suits and everybody walked around in a suit and tie and it was so dignified. Oh, okay. So back in the day it was black culture, and today we just, we hella relaxed everywhere. You know, exactly, Torian. Who pulling the strings of this culture? This is part of the issue. Appreciate it, game changer. Let's do it for the culture. It's funny how people get mad at their kids. You know all these songs on the radio. You got that memorized, but you don't memorize your homework. You don't know your homework. But you told them the music was doing it for the culture and not the homework. I mean, there's a just as long of a list of inventors in Black history as they are entertainers. But this when doing it for the culture goes wrong. You start naming people, you start naming things like black person invented that, black person made that, black person made that. Yeah, actually, yeah. Black person invented that. But when a kid could dance around and yeah, they doing it for the culture. Then if your kid got C's and D's and you mad at your kid, but you don't study with them. You don't check their homework. You don't make sure they're doing the right thing. See, what people don't understand is you're throwing these kids in front of a TV, telling the TV and the internet, go find all your information and do it for the culture, right? And everything they saying to you, do it for the culture, is just kicking it. Living your best life, lit, whatever you want to call it. But then you turn around and you mad at them same people. Same people. I mean, exactly, Ryan. Black man invented the video game console. But people walk around here got PS5, Xbox, Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Dreamcast, all that stuff. But black man invented that. The single game console was invented by a black man. Yeah. But you so in the game and you don't even know that. Your kid know these games. Oh, it's beyond a super soaker. Yeah, I feel you on that. But see, this is the problem with it. The problem. And then same thing with the women. Let's do it for the culture. Let's say everything black women did. Okay, well, a black woman invented the alarm system, the home alarm system. Black woman invented that. Hey, Kendra, keep doing your thing, sugar. Keep doing your thing. Go to Kendra and like her videos. Y'all sleeping on Kendra. Y'all playing with her right now. But this is when doing it for the culture goes wrong. See, because people aren't aspiring to be better at innovation. And part of when doing it for the culture goes wrong is, guess what? We're not as business savvy because we act like that's not part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? That's not part of the culture. When going back to when I was watching the movie The Banker, not part of the culture. Matter of fact, I keep talking about Fargo season 4, the season with Chris Rock, and I'm gonna do a review on that. So Fargo is the series is based on true stories. So basically, one of the parts of the true story is the credit card was invented by a black gangster. Credit in America was invented by a black gangster. Ain't that hilarious? But he was for racketeering and whatnot. So he was in finance already. So, I mean, if that holds to be true, because, when it comes to stories like that, that was like 60-something, 70-something years ago. And when criminals do things, it don't come out to like 50, 60 years later. So I could see it because they do it with everybody else when they tell people about things. So if that's the case, your credit card, black. Solo, what's that? I'm going to hit you up after I'm done with this today, matter of fact. I'm going to talk to you. So now, this is when doing it for the culture goes wrong. You don't know what you created. You get what I'm saying? So, it's not a big idea. See, we let people say, oh, fried chicken was a bad thing. Can you go 2 blocks in any major metropolitan city and not see fried chicken? Or, and it depends on if you're in the South, you can't go 2 blocks without seeing fried chicken and barbecue. That was part of the culture, right? See, when doing it for the culture goes wrong, when you try, I'm going to shun myself away from it. I don't like, what I'm saying, Popeyes. Okay, well, go to KFC. Go to Wingstop. Fine, whatever. You're eating fried chicken regardless. But see, it's deeper than that. Now we're at a point where everything you're doing for the culture, is it to your benefit? Because when we keep trying to do it for the culture and prop up the quote-unquote culture, does it benefit us? And this is when doing it for the culture goes wrong, because you want to do it for the culture for free. You want to do it for the culture and somebody else reaps the benefits and the rewards for it. No, stop that. This is what I meant by earlier when I was talking about the political aspect. When you're gonna vote Democratic to do it for the culture. That's what we do, and we hope something gonna change. Something might change. How you gonna hope? No, if it don't benefit you, see, part of the culture is just let's be black, and let's reach out across the table and do things for other people and hope that they're going to respond in kind. Have they ever? No. But they will next time. What is the definition of insanity? Doing something over and over, doing the same thing over and over and again and expecting a different result. That's doing it for the culture. See, that's when it goes wrong. That's what I meant by you hitching criminality to the black culture. That's going to land you in jail, right? Or dead, right? So now when it comes to the political aspect, now all you could talk about is, man, we got to get these brothers out of jail for, being incarcerated for all these nonviolent drug offenses. What about all the people that went to the military and went to trade school and went to college in that time? Why are you not going to do something that enhance their life? Because they brought far more to the black community and the American economy than people locked up in jail. And it's a far greater number of people who went to the military, went to trade school, and went to college that are working in the society, that are contributing to the society, that's been paying taxes in the society. But you don't think about that part. This is when doing it for the culture goes wrong. And when I backed up when I was talking about the kids in the suburbs, this is how you get black people who are, see, I'm not trying to name names. You got, take a good look at all these black entertainers right now. Right now. Ask yourself, how many of them were childhood stars and they really didn't deal with poverty like that? And how many of them come from rich families? Look at social media. You want people arguing, you want kids of famous parents arguing with people about life. Like, and they're trying to emulate what they think being black is because their parent might be from the hood and their parent still, you know, hood dress code, hood vernacular, but they ain't from there. See, we don't want to talk about how many people want to do it for the culture in the suburbs. See, you take those same type of people, take them back to the hood, watch how nervous they get. Them black people act real white. You gotta lock the doors. Oh my God. Oh, who is that walking down the street? Oh my God, does that old lady have a sawed-off shotgun? Why are we here? Oh, it don't look good. It's not as pretty and pristine as our area and our neighborhood. But I'm down here slumming doing it for the culture. See, I want to pass out turkeys in the hood. So you want to emulate a drug dealer. That's what makes you feel like you something in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go back to my neighborhood and act like Nicky Barnes and Bumpy Johnson and give out turkeys to the very people that I'm, making my millions off of selling drugs to. Oh man, this made me feel so good. I'm keeping it 100. No, you're not. No, you're not. That's not, that's not doing it for the culture. That's an homage to a dope boy. But we don't want to be real about that and talk about it in that way. Something else going on. It's something else in the mix with that. So, since we're going to all do it for the culture, see, this is where I'm about to get ugly. So, since doing it for the culture is doing whatever you want to do, and especially having a real sense of a need to be rebellious, because doing it for the culture is being a rebel. All right, cool. So doing it for the culture is being a dope boy. All right, cool. So doing it for the culture is being a stripper. Cool. Okay. Doing it for the culture is being ignorant in public places. Cool. That's doing it for the culture. Doing it for the culture gonna be busting your ass too. Cause see, since you so hood and you so rebellious and you so gangster, other people can get gangster too. So what happens when you want to be dope boy and start getting your ass beaten, ass shot? What happens then? See, you're not going to do it for the culture then, right? It ain't going to be for the culture then, right? Man, you know what I'm saying? Man, rest in peace, my homeboy. They ain't had to do him like that. Shut up. You wanted to do it for the culture? Cool. You want to be out there? You want to emulate strippers, and that's part of your culture, and you want to pop it and drop it everywhere you go? Cool. You get a train ran on, you don't know who the daddy is? You did it for the culture, baby. But the men ain't around for me, and I need the real. Shut up. You did it for the culture. Busting it wide open for the culture, you might wind up not knowing who your baby daddy is. I don't want to hear your complaints. Just open your mouth and open your legs like a person like you do who do it for the culture. I don't want to hear nothing else. When your kids go out here emulating you doing it for the culture and somebody crack your kid upside the head, I don't want to hear it. They doing it for the culture too. Because can't nobody tell them what to do either. See, can't nobody tell these other people what to do and where to go and how to act because they doing it for the culture. The culture is do whatever you want to do, wherever you want to do it. So that goes both ways. Going to some, y'all want to think doing it for the culture is not being Rick James on Dave Chappelle. Doing it for the culture is not coming to your house. And X-Man, thank you, fam. Doing it for the culture is not going over somewhere, F your couch, F your couch. I'm doing it for the culture. Yo, couch. They should have never gave you money. That's not doing it for the culture. That's just doing dumb stuff right there. That's all that is. That's just acting like a complete utter fool. But see, but then you get mad at white people for saying you call yourself the N-word. You say you should, and I'm glad I said that because I forgot to say this earlier. Since you got on Ice Cube and all, how do y'all get on Ice Cube and watch and since the NWA movie come out, y'all got straight out of everything t-shirts, but Ice Cube tripping. And by the way, if you ever watched the movie, you notice how the Jerry Heller character had no problem with the brothers tearing each other down, but when they threw his name in the mix, oh, he just had to pull his tampon out. They'll never do that to me. I'm going to call the ADL. I'm going to call the Coast Guard. I'm going to call Jesus. I'm going to call the Army and Navy. I can't take it. You know? But that's doing it for the culture, remember? Just like, boy. Yeah, he didn't want his name in the mud. He wanted all the black people name to be all in the mud. Let's get paid off of that. But he didn't want to be, he's a good civilized person. He was a clown. He's still a clown. All those people like that are clowns. You selling something that makes sure people talk dirty about somebody, but you don't want nobody talking about you. You the biggest, boy, I swear, if he don't sit when he pee and bleed, I don't know who else do. Because that's what he act like. You know, don't make no sense. But see, disrespecting other people, you can't do that. See, this is what I mean by when doing it for the culture goes wrong. See, we could disrespect each other because that's part of the culture. But disrespecting other people outside of the culture, what's up, Super Mulatto? My bad. You know, disrespecting other people is not part of the culture. Somehow we have a mental break. Don't go over there. You know, white folks don't play. Don't go over there. Don't do that now. Don't do that. Hey, the white folks, hey, don't be around them. You know, don't go in the neighborhood with the Mexicans like that. Don't do that now. Oh, don't go over there. Them Asians don't play like that. You got to act like you have sense now. Oh, so you on that, you know, halfway slave mind to this day. That's part of the culture. Oh, man, they black. Oh, you can disrespect them all day long. You know what I'm saying? They black. They know the people. We the people. You know what I'm saying? That's how we talk to each other. Okay, talk to somebody else like that. I just don't know if I could go over there and talk to those people's like that now. Oh, ain't nobody in here but us chickens. So you so hard 1 minute with your own, but then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? but you know, if you look at Frank Lucas, he was a little hoe too. You know, he was a hoe too. I'm not finna give no props to no dope boys. Ever. Ever. I don't care. JFK daddy, who was a drug dealer his day, fuck him. Drug dealer. Said it. So what? Only difference between white drug dealers and black drug dealers is white drug dealers, people think that's the American way. Black drug dealers, that's evil. It's all bad. It's all bad. But he was legitimate and his kids, man, get the fuck out of here. He's a dope boy. He's a dope boy. He ain't do nothing positive for nobody's life. You know, it is what it is. But see, that's part of the culture, right? And I get when people are trying to say part of black culture is underground culture. Underground culture and underworld culture, you know, underground, yeah, the underworld. The underground and the underworld are two different things. They're not the same thing. You know, same thing when people go, you know, and most Asians can't fight. But we respect them. Man, everybody, look, see, this is what I mean. That's what I mean, Vern. We look at Asians, well, Bruce Lee now, they can fight. Most Asians can't fight. Stop. Karate don't work in real life fights, man. It's good for the TV, good for movies, but that's not really a good practical fighting style in real life. You know, you knuckle up and somebody go, tiger style. Shut up. Just shut up. Like, bam, that's it. But we associate Asians, Bruce Lee. White folks, Jesus. Italians, Jewish people. Oh, the true chosen people. Black people, gangsters, thugs, whatever. What's up, Cut to the Chase? This is part of where the culture goes wrong. When we're doing it for the culture, and it goes horribly wrong. When we say, if you notice, you're saying support. See, here's a problem. On one end, we say support black business, right? Supporting black business ain't doing it for the culture, ironically, if you notice that. If you notice, if somebody got a black business, supporting that black business and treating that business with respect, that ain't part of the culture. Supporting white business is part of the culture. See, we could do that for the culture. We could show up, we could Louis Vuitton for the culture. We could Gucci for the culture. Walking around like Gucci man. I paid $10,000 for this outfit. Look at my outfit. I paid $10,000 for this. Got me sounding like Jesus. I tell you what. We could do that for the culture. Can you buy masterpiece sneakers for the culture? I don't like that, man. It ain't okay. Can you buy the cereal for the culture? I don't know. Can you buy the little girl's lemonade that's in the grocery store? It's like B's lemonade. Could you buy that for the culture? I don't know. Can you buy Italian twine watch for the culture? 17 for the culture. That's a watch too. Can you do that? You can Michael Kors for the culture. I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? You can Balenciaga for the culture. How? That ain't your culture. That ain't your culture. But we could, we can kill that. But then turn around and hate Jordan. Jordan, when everybody wear Jordans, Jordan. We hate them Jordans. People standing in line for the Jordans. People standing in line getting killed for the Jordans. People gonna die for the Jordans. You trying to buy Gucci shoes that cost 3 times them Jordans. What are you talking about? You want to buy a Hermes belt that costs more than Jordans. You can't even afford the pants or the shirt, so all you can get is the belt. Somebody said, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, and mama said Balenciaga. I mean, it don't make no sense. If you're going to buy a Gucci, you going to buy a Dapper Dan's part? I ain't going to buy a Dapper Dan. I ain't going to buy. Dapper Dan going to get paid off of it. Ain't going to do that for the culture though, huh? Let me guess. Could you buy like some Money Team clothes? Could you buy that for the culture? You still buying Rockaway for the culture? You going to buy some Yeezys for the culture? You know what I'm saying? I forgot whoever, all the other black artists who have tennis shoes and brands, you going to buy that for the culture? You ain't finna do that, right? That ain't for the culture. You stupid mother, still wearing a white Jesus piece for the culture. See, this is when it goes wrong. Jesus is really a black man, but for the culture, I'm gonna get a white Jesus on the chain. Get a white Jesus on the chain for the culture. With a cross for the culture. You messing around, exalting white Jesus for the culture. That's when it go wrong. Like, what the fuck you doing? Got a tattoo of a white Jesus on you for the culture. You out your mind? But this is when it goes wrong. It's all bad now. See, that's what it is for the culture. Let me go. Because I guarantee you, if you find out a black man designs a car, is you going to buy that car because he designed it for the culture? Is your dream car a car that a black man designed? Nah, not really, huh? Black man makes some rims for the car. You going to buy the rims for the culture? I don't know. You going to buy the rims, huh? You not going to buy the rims? Sister made some candles. Since, since SCENTS, June, JUNE.com. Candles. Black woman, black company makes great candles. You gonna buy that for the culture? Buy it for the culture. Buy it for the culture. Once you go, and Lil Wayne probably still got some truck fit out there, buy it for the culture. Buy I think T.I. still got the hustle game, buy it for the culture. When you gonna do that? Buy it for the culture. See, put your money where your culture is. Because when we doing it for the culture, it seems like, the culture pays everybody but us. Or we paying everybody to say they stuff is our culture. And they taking our culture and getting paid off of it. It sound kind of stupid to me. What's the black man that has the piano line? Is it Shard? Like it's like Rashad or Shand or something like that. You gonna buy the next time if you want a piano in your house, you gonna do that for the culture? You thought what was owned by white men? FUBU ain't a white company. FUBU was still owned by FUBU. Matter of fact, they bought Coogee. That's why the price of Coogee went down. And you see how people, brother, stop buying Coogee all of a sudden. When Coogee was selling $300-$400 ugly sweaters, and Bill Cosby was wearing them on the Cosby Show, and you thought it was fly because it was so expensive, it was for the, he's doing it for the culture. Now you can buy them same sweaters. You don't want to do that no more. When Biggie was wearing them sweaters in the 90s, it was for the culture, right? But now it ain't for the culture no more. The only thing we buying for the culture right now, do say is the shit. If I do say so myself. If I do, we can buy that. Do say, I'll buy that. That's for the culture now. Ace of Spades, for the culture now. What else for the culture? Who else got it for the culture? I wish Outkast still had their clothes. I saw a woman in Fat Farm today. Oh, it's Fat Farm and Apple Bottoms. That was for the culture. And I don't know if they're, no more Carl Kanai, no more cross colors. That ain't for the culture. Yeah, I knew about the 300. It's the 300, and I believe that same brother did the Cadillac CTS, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, though. What's up, Joshua? Thanks. This is where I'm going with it, for the culture. I think Carmelo Anthony and Randy Moss have a NASCAR team. It might be trucks, or I forget if it's trucks or cars. You gonna get some of that apparel for the culture? Since we got all these HBCUs, you gonna buy some HBCU apparel for the culture? You gonna do that for the culture or not? Get you a nice hat, nice jacket, nice shirt, poster, whatever, mug, anything for the culture. Soulja Boy game console, you for the culture? I don't know. See, this is when it goes wrong. Because everything you're doing for the culture, it ain't for the culture. Boating. What is that? I see the name, but Michael, what's happening? I'm still glad about the natural hair movement. Ooh, you finally gonna wear your hair for the culture, huh? Took a while, but you gonna finally, brother, stop doing that shit. In the 60s. In the 60s. Are we gonna stop? Matter of fact, watch what I'm about to say. This one doing it for the culture goes wrong. You celebrate Black History Month like you did Christmas, Black Friday, Cinco de Mayo. Did you? St. Patrick's Day with your punk ass. Because I love to see that every year. Every year Black History Month go by, you don't see black people celebrate nothing Black history. Then, all of a sudden, St. Patrick's go up, black people wearing green and drinking beer all over the place with shamrocks. Where the fuck you get those shirts from? You can't even wear Black Lives Matter in February, but you can wear St. Patrick's. but you're doing it for the culture. You're doing it for the culture. You know, don't make no sense. You know, let's do it for the culture. Oh, okay. Anything for Juneteenth? You gonna do it for the culture for Juneteenth? You're not. Mm-mm. You're not. You gonna do it for the culture for Martin Luther King birthday? What you gonna do for that? Nothing. You know. Uh, we should figure out something a little different now, right? You know. Look at the NFL. Watch, and I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. The Super Bowl is in February. They talked all this Black Lives Matter, Colin Kaepernick stuff. You know, oh, we gonna do more for the black community. You won't see not one damn thing about black history at the Super Bowl, and 75% of the players black in the Super Bowl. We should just have black performers every year since it's in February, right? Since the league black, right? Just saying. Do it for the culture. See, other people ain't gonna do it for the culture. You know, they can do cancer for the culture. Oh, they can do mental health for the culture. Black for the culture? Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. The NBA the same way. The NBA gonna be playing in February. Guarantee you ain't gonna see no Black History shit. But wait until Hispanic Heritage Month come out. Wait until Asian Culture Month come out. Oh, you gonna see all kinds of, Chinese letters and and you know what I'm saying? Spanish, the Phoenix Soul. Oh, okay. I hear you, pimp. I hear you, pimp. Do it for the culture. Other people ain't doing it for the culture like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get out of here, y'all, man. I thank y'all for rocking with me. But this going to be some shenanigans, man. Shenanigans. You know, Amy, what's happening, man? Hope you've been doing good. Taco Tuesday for the culture, exactly. You know. Well, what about to make... You better go buy a Super Soaker, god dog it. Don't get the cheap. Don't get the other cheap brand and do it. I did it for the culture. It's spray water. Now, you know, don't worry about that, fam. Catch you later. Y'all have a good evening. Peace.